What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? About to be, well, it depends on where you at. It's about to be 421, the end of 420. Hope everybody had a good day. I'm not going to be on here long, man. I just woke up to some disturbing things, man. And, sometimes we think what's important in life is important, then things happen. Then we realize what we thought was important isn't that important at all. So that's basically what I really want to talk about this evening. Sometimes we have to pay attention to what's going on in real life instead of being stuck on social media, following all this buffoonery. We have real life situations going on out here, and it affects everybody. You know, it affects everybody. You know, we got a lot of mental illness. A lot of people fighting with mental illness, man. Especially black people. There's a lot of us fighting with mental illness, and we never go get checked out. We never go to the doctor and get checked out. But if we do go to the doctor, they want to, stuff medication on us. And some people don't like to take medication, so you have a lot of mental ill patients who don't take their medication. So we have we have to be careful, man. We have to be conscious, you know, because I don't know where you live, but there's a lot of mental ill patients that just roaming the streets. They need help. You have a lot of these major cities closing these mental health centers down. And these people who's struggling with mental health has nowhere to go. So they just stuck. They stuck roaming the streets. They be on city transportation, buses and trains, sleeping, you know. They just out there, man. You got mental health people along with people who had hard times in their lives who's out there homeless. So you got a mixture of people. You got mental ill patients and you got people who just struggling in life, out roaming the streets, you know? So, there's a lot of things that's going on around us, man, that we have to be aware of, you know? Now, we just recently had a case in Shreveport, Louisiana, where this man killed 8 children. 7 of them was his kids. They said the man was suffering from mental illness. See, we don't discuss it until tragedy happens. We don't mention mental illness until something like this happens. See, we don't address it before. We wait till some tragic happens, then we want to mention, we want to talk about mental illness. Why don't we talk about it before tragedy like this happens? You know, that's a question you probably can have for your local government. Because more likely is the local government that closing up these mental hospitals, mental institutions. Maybe we should ask them that question. Because mental illness is real. Mental illness is real, man. You know, and that's a serious top subject to talk about. You know, what can we do about mental illness? You know, because now we mourning 8 children, 8 young children, and they say it was so bad that the kids was running for their life, and he hunted them kids down like dogs, man, and executed them. 8 little kids, man. 8 little kids. This man unalived them 8 little innocent kids, man. There's more serious things to talk about. TJ, you're not that important. You're not that important, boy. You are not that important. Don't think you that important, boy, because you ain't. We got serious real life issues going on out here, man. We got real life situations going on out here, man. You are not that important. You know, you can go to any major city, man. You know, go to public transportation and all. You got the mental people, mental illness, and homeless people sleeping on the trains, man, because there's no facility for them to go to get help, lay their head, and all the people are not old, man. You have young people out there suffering from mental illness, living out there in the streets. They're not just old people. They're young. Some you can say is in their 20s, 30s, out there suffering from mental illness, living in the streets. Some of them you would know they that young because they look older than what they are. But you'd be surprised, you know. But we want to think we more, you know, the talk, you know, we more important than what's going on around us. or bullshit is more important than what's going on around us. No, you're not important. You're not important at all. You know, we have more serious things going on around this world than just you. We could talk about more things in this world than just you. I know I can. And TJ, I never did crack a day in my life. I'm a cheating chong man. I always was a weed man. I grew up in the '70s. I'm a weed man. So I never did crack a day in my life. Never sold crack. But I bet you can't say that. See, that's why people in the glass house shouldn't throw stones. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you're not that important. You're not that important. The most important thing is, man, a lot of these people out here suffering from mental illness. You have people losing their jobs because of their religious belief. You're getting people to talk about, you know, for their own opinion. And I'm just not talking about on YouTube. I'm talking about in real life. You got all that going on. So what makes you think you that important? You're not important, boy. See, I ain't the type of person to keep on talking about you every live I do. Nah, nah. I say what I gotta say and I'm done with it. I'm doing this to show you that you're not important as you think you are. See, I don't care about big numbers, TJ. I don't care, man. Anybody who want to listen to what I'm speaking on, whatever, I welcome. I don't care if it's one to 10. I don't care. I'm not on here to try to get monetized, or I'm just out here just to spread the message, man. Have my voice. That's it. That's it. I ain't looking for fame or fortune. Nah, nah. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that, man. That's not my intentions when I came to YouTube. My intention was to bring real life shit and bring the word, to the masses, man. Just speak my words, man. Speak my peace. That's all I came here for. I ain't come here to argue with nobody, to fight with nobody. Ah, man, that's a waste of energy, man. That's a waste of energy. I don't shack with no woman just because of that reason. I love my peace. I love my girl to death, but I like my peace. She got her own place, I got mine. I go to her place, she come to mine. That's good with me. That's fine with me. I don't have to live with no woman, you know? And TJ, you better get your life insurance together. Because it don't matter how old you are, boy. Because you can leave here anytime. You know what I'm saying? You can croak in your sleep. Then what you gonna do? Do you have your insurance paid up? Do you have your life insurance? So just don't think because you old, that's when you get your life insurance. Dude, you might not even make it to that age. You wait to that age to get life insurance. What if you pass away, before you get your life insurance? Then what? Then you leave your family stuck in paying for your funeral arrangement because you thinking, oh, you young, you don't need life insurance. Well, don't you know? We got my daughter life insurance when she 2 years old, 3 years old. We not expecting her to pass away, God's will no time soon. But you gotta have, you gotta be insured because you don't know what might happen. You don't know what'll happen. You don't know what would happen, you know? So you have to, you know, get that life insurance. You gotta get a life insurance no matter how old you are, you know? So that was that, y'all. I ain't planning on be on here long. Just came on here for a minute because I was checking out the story of the man who unalived them 8 kids in Louisiana, Shreveport, and I was just thinking about it, man, and and then I just said, let me just throw it out there. It was on my mind. I just wanted to throw it out there, man. I'm not expecting a lot of views. I just wanted to put it out there, just something to add to my playlist. That's all it really was. So I just wanted to put that out there about mental illness, man. I'll probably do another live more in depth on it. But when I had saw this story today, I just cringed, man, because this man hung them. I just can imagine somebody hung down little kids running for their life, and this man hung them down like prey. Unaliving them. You know, that's sad, man. That is that is sad. You know, we have to do something about mental illness, man. Mental illness is a serious thing, and we have to understand there's more things in life than stupidness, man, and silliness. We have a lot of things. We have a lot of people suffering. You know, we got a lot of people suffering, man, and it's not good, man. And it's not good, man. The shit is sad, if you ask me. It's sad. I just pray for them 8 kids, man, who lost their lives, man. And just God take them and comfort them, man. Give them the peace that they didn't have on this earth, man. We have 8 innocent young kids gone, man. 8 Young kids gone. Hmm. But we want to worry about other shit. Mm. What have we come to as people, man? And I'm just not talking about black people. I'm talking about society in a whole. What have we come to? Where things like this goes on, man, and we put a blind eye to it, man. I guess we really don't care unless it affects us, unless it's in our family. Then we want everybody to care then. But since it don't affect your family, who cares, huh? Hmm. Wow. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. Hmm. Well, y'all, I'm get off this thing, man. I appreciate whoever came through. Like I said, I wasn't gonna be able. I just wanted to throw that out, man. I had saw the story of the 8 young kids being unalive. Like they say, 7 of them was his, and him hunting them kids, dogs like, mmm, hunting them kids down like prey, man, executing them. Mm, mm. It's a mean, mean world, y'all. It's a mean, mean world, man. It's a mean, mean world. Yep. But everybody have a good rest of your day, man. I ain't mean to come on here with sad news or sad commentary or whatever, man. But to me, it's better than buffoonery that's going on. Best to know what's going on around us and in the world than all this other shit. So just to let people know, well, you ain't that important. There's a lot of more serious things going on. I could talk about a lot of more other serious things than just you. You're not the top of my subject, dude. I laugh at shit like that. You're not the top of my subject, man. I got a lot of other things on my mind than just you. You know, maybe you should look outside of Brunswick, see what's going on in the world. Maybe you have a better perspective. You know, but it's all good. All right, everybody. I said it before. I'm saying it again. Everybody have a good evening, man. You know, say a prayer. Get you a good relationship with God, man. Pray for the people who's suffering. Pray for the people who's suffering. Because believe it or not, you might could be doing bad, but I always believe there's somebody out there doing worse than you. So pray for the suffering, man. Pray for the weak. Pray for the homeless. Pray for the people who suffer from mental illness. Because they all need your prayer. All right, people. Have a good evening. I holla.